You know, my dad used to say, Brian, you get your best work done when you're under pressure. And there's some truth to that, right? Which is not to say that I'm a natural procrastinator, although I have in the past had the tendency to procrastinate. But I think it's just because we as human beings operate better under a deadline, right? When our feet are held to the fire, we produce. You know, we naturally do this, I think. Now, there are exceptions to this rule, of course, but I think most of us, for the most part, if we've got 10 days to do a project, for example, we'll bebop our way through the first 8 days, and we don't really start getting serious until the last 2, and then we manage to get it done, right? In school, you remember cramming for tests? Come on, we all did it because it's natural human nature. So what is this tendency to do everything at the last minute? Well, part of it's procrastination, but the other part of it is just the natural human tendency to rise to the occasion, to rise to expectation. See, we all know that if we've got 10 days to do a project and we start on it in day 1, we're not going to be very motivated. On day 8, however, the fire is lit and off we go, right? So if you've got dreams, goals, aspirations, if you've got things you want to do personally, professionally, in your finances, your family, relationships, health and wellness, finances, business, all these things, here's what you need to do. Put a deadline on it. Put a deadline on it. Put a drop dead on it. Put a date. Stamp a date on your goals and hold yourself accountable. I mean, in a big way, like saying things like, I'm not going to take that family vacation if I don't meet X, Y, and Z goal on such and such a date. Or I'm going to be forced to give up my favorite food for 6 months if I don't hit this health and wellness goal on this date at this time. In other words, give yourself a hard date and then give yourself a consequence. And you'll find that just like we have done all of our lives, when our feet were held to the fire, we were held to a deadline, you will rise to the occasion. So be your own best friend and give yourself a deadline. That's the dose, guys. Have a great week.